North Korea has been smuggling luxury cars into the country for years. The cars are among other high-end items worth millions, and they defy the UN sanctions on the country. But who's been secretly helping North Korea? And what smuggling routes are they using? Let's find out. Welcome to Xplained. It's no secret that Kim Jong-un lives life like a king. From designer watches to private yachts, he spent millions on a collection of luxury items. But cars are his favorite. He's been spotted in a black Rolls Royce, a Maybach S62 that costs around $500,000, and a Maybach S600 Pullman Guard that's worth over $1.5 million. But these aren't just any luxury vehicles. The S600 comes with leather massage seats, armor that protects passengers from assault rifle ammo, and explosive devices. But how did Kim buy them despite the United Nations ban on luxury goods to North Korea? An investigative report by Washington-based Center for Advanced Defense Studies shows that North Korea relies on a small group of trusted individuals. And it uses the same smuggling networks that traffics other contraband around the world. Let's look at how two Maybach S600 made its way from Europe to North Korea. The journey starts in the port of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Cargo shipping records show the cars entered the shipping terminal in 2 sealed containers, but it's unclear who bought them in the first place. Daimler, Mercedes' parent company, says it always does a background check on buyers before exporting to ensure it doesn't sell to sanctions violators. On June 20th, 2018, the containers left Rotterdam on a cargo ship owned by China's COSCO Shipping Corporation. And after 41 days at sea, the ship arrived in Dalian in China on July 31st. The containers were offloaded here and they remained in the port. On August 26th, they were put on a ship that was traveling to Osaka, Japan. And from Japan, they were loaded onto another vessel that made a 3-day journey to Busan in South Korea. Up until this point, the journey is pretty clear, but here's where things get fishy. If you've enjoyed the video so far and you want to see more of these, hit that like button and subscribe to Xplained. Within a day of its arrival in South Korea, the containers were loaded onto a cargo ship called the DN5505. The DN5505 left South Korea on October 1st for Nakotka, Russia, where it was due to arrive on October 5th. But midway through the trip, the ship went dark. Its tracking system called AIS, or Automatic Identification System, stopped transmitting signals of its location. 18 days later, the signal came back on and it showed the ship was in South Korean waters. Except now, instead of containers, it was filled with 2,588 metric tons of coal. And it was headed back to Busan in South Korea. So what happened when the ship disappeared? And where did the containers go? Customs records submitted by the ship's officials in South Korea say it arrived in Nakotka, Russia, but the port of Nakotka has no record of its arrival. Fishy, right? Let's take a look at the DN5505 for a second. You see, its original name was the Qiangjin, and the Qiangjin was owned by a company registered in Hong Kong. But on July 27th, just 3 days before the cars arrived in China, the ship's ownership was transferred to another company named Do-Young Shipping, who renamed it to DN5505. So who is Do-Young's owner? Investigations link it to a Russian businessman named Daniel Kazachuk. Kazachuk lives in Vladivostok, a city that's right next to Nakotka, where the DN5505 was supposed to arrive. The company itself is registered in the Marshall Islands, but the ship sails under the flag of Togo in West Africa. Did you find all that confusing? It's meant to be. But this is a classic strategy smuggling networks use to avoid sanctions. But what happened to the containers with the cars when the DN5505 allegedly arrived in Russia? Well, on October 7th, 2 days after the ship's estimated arrival, 3 Ilyushin 76 cargo jets from North Korea made an unscheduled arrival in Vladivostok, and these jets are often used by North Korea to transport armored vehicles. So was the arrival of these jets a coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. But given that these planes have transported Kim Jong-un's armored limousines in the past, it's highly likely that they could have picked up the S-600s. C4ADS's reports say that North Korea imported at least $191 million worth of goods between 2015 to 2017. These were sourced from as many as 90 countries, and 803 of these items were luxury vehicles. So why is it important to uncover North Korea's smuggling routes for luxury goods? Because the transportation network for them could reveal more about the transportation of more dangerous dual-use goods like chemicals and weapons technology. These dual-use items are harder to trace, and they can be used by North Korea in its weapons program. What are your thoughts on this smuggling operation? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Xplained.